Um, I'm pretty sure online color analysis does not work. Like, I did an experiment where I used very bright digital drapes, and literally most people are saying I'm a winter. Do I look like a winter to you? Come on. These kind of colors are my shit. So I realized my error. Like, I can't blame the people for this. The way I conducted the test, I used extremely bright drapes. Like, I chose colors where it's like no question what the undertone is and how bright it is. I'd appreciate if I did that, I would look soft. Simply because all the drapes I used were like bright winter and bright spring, like cartoonishly bright. So anyone's gonna look soft against that. Even a bright spring would look kind of soft against that. So I said, okay, let me do this again with real life drapes, but like because for years now I've known cool purple and cool blue make me look like a zombie. I don't have anything in those colors. I do have like a lot of cool winter bright pinks because I can handle that better because of the red. So like I have a lot of the only like winter colors I have are maybe like winter greens and winter pinks and reds because they're naturally warmer and I can work with them as I'm neutral warm. So I did real life drapes and it's still not really bringing out just how warm I am. Like I would question anyone who's saying that you could like find out your color harmony from digital photos simply because I feel like all cameras tend to put a cool cast on you and magnify your contrast in a way that's not real. And in real life, if they're telling you you're a winter because your camera is making you look more contrasted and cooler, but in real life you're an autumn, and then you go buy royal blues and royal purples, you're gonna look like a zombie, you know. So they're all telling me I'm a winter, and it's like, do I look like a winter to you? This camera is better. Like this is more accurate. Like you can see I have like an olivey undertone. You can see this orange, and it's all pretty harmonious. It's not too bright. You know, it's the kind of burnt sienna that could be like a brighter spring color or a deeper, less bright. I mean, a brighter autumn color or a deeper, less bright spring color. Those are my colors, right? I think they work the best on me. But you do this digital draping and ask people their opinion, like winter, 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 and like I said, I made a video yesterday. There's like a weird bias where people want to be winters. I think because the colors are the most high fashion and powerful, black, white, stark cold blue, you know. But I think I'm a true autumn. Like you can see my contrast is medium. I have like an olivey light neutral skin. Uh I'm brighter than some autumns, but more muted than other people. Like I'm in the middle of that property. I do well with brightness, like when I wear a more spring thing, like not as bright as full on spring, but like the other day I wore an outfit where I had like an apricot shirt and a white shirt with like all these like bright red and coral flowers, and I did my makeup harmonious with that. That looked really good. It brought out a brightness that I have, right? What I'm saying is I'm not as muted as other autumns, and like I can pull a lot of spring colors. And on the same token, winter colors that are naturally more warm, like reds and greens, I can wear those. But what I can't do is wear like royal purple and royal blue that just make me look like a freaking zombie. That's amazing. Like everybody who tries to get typed online, unless they're super light with blonde hair, everyone's like winter, winter, winter. And then you see people also fighting to be winters. And I'm like, why are you so fighting to look like a zombie? I mean, I know in your mind you have like this fantasy that you're like high editorial fashion, powerful and stuff, but you look sick. Like if you're not warm and you try to wear those colors, you're just gonna look sick, right? You could wear whatever you want, dude, but insisting that you're a winter because you want to be a winter, trust me, I live this life. I wanted to wear royal blue and royal purple. I would try to wear it. And every time I'd look in the mirror and be like, why do I look like this? Why do I look like shit? Why do I look like I'm anemic? Why do I look sick and gray? Until I accepted those colors don't work for me. So I have to wear colors in a similar family. Like I could wear the same intensity of tone a lot of the time, but if I'm gonna wear blue, it's gotta be like a teal. And if I'm wear purple, it's gotta have red in it. Like I made a post online yesterday. Back when Urban Decay was like the most popular makeup brand, I always loved it. I've loved it since I was a little kid. Like I told the story how when I was 13 and I was new to the internet, little did I know it would destroy my life because I had a mental health breakdown and got propagandized online, but that's not relevant to this video. But when I was like 13, I loved Urban Decay back when it was an indie brand, right? It used to be an indie alternative kind of brand, and it wasn't bought by L'Oreal or anything. And they were one of the first companies to try to sell stuff online. Back then, internet tech was so primitive. You could use a credit card generator and they would literally ship your shit. And so I remember when I was 13, I did that. And I got like a several nail polishes because in my 13-year-old brain, I was like, I want these nail polishes, you know, like just stupid little kid shit. I didn't expect it to work, but it totally did. When you're so little, you don't even realize if you're doing something bad. That was like me at that time. Like I didn't realize like this is technically stealing. I didn't know. Like I was too little. Like I was just like I want these nail polishes. And I was online before anyone else was. I remember it's so funny like this is why I believe in the universe. When my mom bought that computer when I was 11, I think I was, 'cause we were like one of the first families to have a computer. I remember her saying to us, "This is going to help my kids in the future." And what a crushing irony that it literally resulted in the family being destroyed, right? In the sense, I got targeted by the CIA, and they made my nieces sick. So now her grandbabies were sick. All of it was because she bought that computer. If she didn't buy that computer, that couldn't have happened to me. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So this is back early internet. Nobody's on the internet yet, and I'm like 13, and I'm like, you can use a credit card generator? I didn't know. I didn't even know it was crime. Like, I just assumed like I once I got it, I realized like, oh, I didn't pay for this. But at the time, it didn't like this is why kids like are stupid. Anyway, um, yeah, I was going somewhere with that story. So like back when that was like trendy and like they were one of the only companies making alternative colors besides like MAC. Back then makeup they didn't have a range of colors. Like if a palette had like a rust bright red, it was like or like a duochrome like Club by MAC or Lounge by Urban Decay. Like companies weren't doing this. I know it's hard to believe now that makeup's so pedestrian and like we've come full circle where zoomers are bored of that and so they're into natural makeup. But leading up to the rise of drag makeup in 2016, there was like only boring makeup and there were only a few brands making these edgy alternative colors. One of them was Urban Decay and MAC obviously. And every time a brand would come out with a new bold color like NARS or Urban Decay, it'd be a big fucking deal. Like, can you believe it's this intense blue with sparkles? Like, what? Like, that seems ridiculous now, 20 years later. But at the time, that's how it was. Makeup went from like this thing that's very like, it's about women looking prettier. So all the colors are oriented around that too. No, it's artistry. There's drag, there's MAC. And it's an edgy alternative expression. And then it went like peak with now everyone's wearing drag makeup in 2016 back to we like summer Fridays and a barefaced look. That's boring. Millennials are corny. So yeah, during the rise up of that, when Urban Decay released their deluxe shadows, it was just like, what? Are you kidding? Look at these colors, right? And Ransom was very much like a viral color. It was this royal, deep, iridescent purple. And I loved it, but I always put it on like, why do I look so bad? And the two colors of the same deluxe shadow that they released in a similar family was Fishnet, which was like a spring bright iridescent purple with a lot of red in it. And Also, Freak Show, which was an eggplant, a very good autumnal color because it's deep with red. But then you had Ransom, which was a bright winter purple. And everyone loved it. And that's because it looks flattering on cool toned people with brown eyes, especially. Which the maker of the company, her name is Wendy. That's her complexion. She's a Caucasian lady with cool skin and brown eyes. So you can see, like, she would promote Ransom. That wasn't her favorite color. But I try to wear it, but like, I look like shit. And at the time, I didn't know why. I've always been artistic, but I wasn't as aware of like undertone, harmonious colors. I just accepted that always looked bad on me. Also, royal blue looked bad on me. But the color fishnet, which was like a spring purple, and the color freak show, which is an autumn purple, they looked great on me, right? Didn't know why. Now I know why. Similar things like NARS would release the Night series, and it was like a black and blue together. Urban Decay clept them with their black palette. And the most viral one, I forget what it's called. I want to say Night Porter, but I think I think I know the green one, Night Porter, because that one looked good on me. But every shadow in this range had the prefix night, and the most famous one was a blue and black. Makeup was very cool toned back then. Like, the whole emphasis on warm looks again came in the rise of the makeup revolution, where like artistry was considered, and then they shifted from cool being trendy to warm being trendy. But what was this called? Night something. Night flight, maybe? I don't know. And again, I try to wear that, look like shit on me. I think I know Night Porter because it instead of blue, it was green. Looked way better on me. And I would notice stuff like the NARS shades California and New York looked good on me. California is like a gold, pink, bronze. It's light and shimmery. Whereas New York, like the city of New York, is this brick, grayed out red. And it's dusty and light. It makes a great transition shade if you're in autumn. Like over years of minding aesthetics, I came to see like cool colors look bad on me. But it's amazing you try to like now that people are interested in this like color harmony. A lot of these people will type themselves online and everyone's like, you're cool, you're a winter. I want to be a cool winter. I'm a winter. How dare you say I'm an autumn? And it's like, you can look how you can wear wherever you want, but you're gonna still keep looking gray. Trust me, I've been fighting this battle. I'm probably older than you. I look young for my age, but I'm 43. And trust me, I went through the phase wearing royal blue and purple and just looking in the mirror like, I'm depressed. I don't need to be more depressed. That's why I'm more into it now, because when I wear colors that like match me, I feel happier, right? I've noticed that my whole life. Like when I'm wearing like I'm trying to do like the bright purple thing, and I just look in the mirror, it's like, oh man, why do I look like a zombie? This fucking sucks. I think that's why I got more into it, because it's like as they destroy me, I try to make myself happy, and this is one thing that makes me happy. It makes me feel good. Like when I look in the mirror and I look healthy. Because I'm wearing this instead of bright purple, right? But when I was younger, I would try to wear all those viral colors because there's been a bias towards cool colors. People, like, again, this goes to show the myopia. Like, the kids today, they laugh at millennial makeup. They're like, you look like drag and it's all orange, And it's like, but you understand, before that, makeup was all cool. There was nothing for alternative skin tones if you were warm. And it was just Borzo shit to look pretty in a gender congruent way. So you have to take it for what it is. Even though you could say millennial makeup was corny, it represented a revolution in how we conceptualize aesthetics and appearance. So that now you saw like elements of drag makeup and not being conventionally beautiful necessarily, and also more open to different body and skin types, right? They still had plenty of cool makeup in amongst the millennials. You know, you look at viral millennial palettes, there's plenty for cool people. But what made it different is the warm became trendy because there was no warm makeup. You look at makeup before that, it was all fucking cool toned, bro. It was all oriented around white skin types. I mean, there are obviously Caucasians who have warm undertones like me, but it should be noted the reason my skin color is like this is because I'm not pure white. Like, I know you guys think I'm a Nazi and you're beating me up for that and raping me and shit, but the reason I don't have a typical Caucasian skin tone is because I'm not a typical Caucasian. Like, my skin is most polarized to my grandmother, who is North African, right? My siblings don't have a skin like me, and they're pink, and they work well with that cool bullshit, right? I don't. Um, yeah. So, like, you have to take it for what it is. It may look corny to you, but it represented an evolution. I mean, they kind of went back full circle back to no, we want to look natural with bare faces in a gender congruent way. It's like, okay, do what you want, but don't act like you're enlightened. Like you're shitting on something you understand. You don't know what came before that. You're too young. Yeah, so like this fighting to be a winter and shit, and this fighting to be a summer and to be cool. It's like you can do whatever you want, but you're still gonna look like a zombie. And you should know those colors are only like so default because they're catering to like typical Caucasian skins that are usually neutral cool. And even when pure Caucasian people are warm, it's usually a neutral warm where they work well with cools too, right? Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. Uh, and also, I'm saying if you do the digital drapes online, it's probably not capturing what you really look like, and you're gonna get told you're cool if you're not cool, and you're a winter when you're not a winter. So I say the best way is to look at yourself and see how you feel and what makes you look and feel healthy. That's probably a good sign what you are. Yeah.